Namaste yogis, thank you so much for joining me and welcome to our Yin Yoga practice. We will also be doing a 20-minute Yoga Nidra practice at the end of this class. So lots of props will be needed or suggested today. We'll be using a yoga blanket, beach towel, or any other thin blanket that you have at home. We'll be using a bolster. If you have a bed pillow, that will work as well, and then 2 blocks. So let's get started. We'll start in our first posture, which is butterfly pose. I always suggest sitting up on the edge of the blanket just to get that gentle pelvic tilt forward. So here, just finding your adjustments. We'll bring the feet out in front, about 6 to 8 inches away from your pelvis. So let's go ahead and start by lengthening the spine. Just feeling that resistance here between the sitting bones and the crown of the head. Noticing your posture here as you elongate and extend, and then roll the shoulders up, down, and back. Take a moment here to pause and just observe how the body is sitting. And then from this space, we'll slowly begin to draw the torso forward, finding your first edge. So as feet are splaying open like a book, outer edges of the feet touch. You're going to slowly come forward, pause where you start to feel that sensation and tension through the outer hip. So if you would like some support here, go ahead and bring 2 blocks underneath the knees and just support the thighs. So let's take our time in our first posture. We might notice our breath. Hands can be resting on the ankles. You can also have blocks here in front of the body if you'd like some support for the forearms. Or you might start to walk your palms forward and ground the palms towards the earth. So if you feel that gentle folding forward, bringing the chin down towards the chest, using the head as a prop, let the head get heavy. Remembering we're moving very slow, so try not to push, pull, or force the body in any posture. And then let's just take stock here of our breath. So without, again, forcing the breath, begin to notice what breath might work for you. If it's helpful to take fuller and deeper breaths, you might breathe into the base of the belly. And in this case, if you're folding forward, you may visualize the breath into the low back here. So breathing deeply into the space of the low back, into the belly region. Letting your breath rise into the rib cage. Feel the mid-back expanding. And then let the breath travel all the way up to the upper spine, cervical spine, crown of the head. And then we exhale the breath down, softening. Upper, mid, low back, the breath travels. And so breath is a tool. There's no hard and fast rule about breathing here in Yin Yoga. Some teachers just suggest finding your natural rhythm and no need to focus. If you would like to and choose to use the breath as a tool, you may feel your body just naturally and organically start to move towards earth. So I notice as I exhale, my body just softly feels a little bit more comfortable and space has been created through the breath. So notice if that's true for you or not. So as we stay close to the earth in our yin practice, we can allow the earth to support our body. So feeling gravity, drawing the spine forward, creating that space through the tissue in the back. Notice if there is any muscular tension here. So even in the arms, right? If you feel like you're really pressing down, you might kind of wiggle the fingers a little bit and try to relax the arms. Palms might face up if you have blocks. And then just slowly find your center here, the center of the shape, in whatever it looks like today in this moment. So here, as we take our first pose, butterfly pose, if you have a sacred intention you'd like to work with today, whether that's something for yourself, something you'd like to call in, or something for someone or something, feel free to set this intention. Today it may be nothing at all. It may be just staying present with body and breath. So just knowing that the energy of your intention, whether stated or unstated, whether known or unknown, the energy will travel where it needs to go. So giving just a few more breaths here, feeling that opening here through the hips, maybe that space created through the low back. And on your next inhale, we're just going to so slowly lengthen the vertebrae one by one. Let the head lift last. Walk the fingertips back if you're folded. Lift the head and gaze. And then we can use the hands here, draw the knees in. And we take a counter pose. Sometimes this requires some movement, so you can either bend the knees and take soft windshield wiper right to left. And adding a twist here might feel nice for the side body. You can also extend the legs forward, little pats of the knees, or find some stillness and you can observe your rebound effect. So let your counter pose just be intuitive to the body. There's no, again, hard and fast rule here about what it should look like or what it should be. But it is important to find something after the long holds so that the body can adjust. Wonderful. Let's make our way onto hands and knees. Option for extra padding here. You can use your blanket if you'd like to. And we'll go ahead and grab blocks. You may or may not need blocks for this next sequence, but I suggest having them if you do. All right, let's move into our dragon series. So let's take that right foot, bring it between the hands, walk your left knee back, and the left top of the foot will be rooted. So right knee is directly over ankle, and here we're propping ourselves up so you can either bring hands onto blocks and lift so shoulders come over hips, or you can bring palms to the thigh. So you're just going to notice that really deep stretch here through the left front thigh and hip flexor. Okay, so if we don't have blocks today, palms to the thigh. If we do and you want to use an extra layer of support, go ahead and ground the palms onto the blocks. So first posture here is high flying dragon. So this is a more yang posture. It's a little bit more muscularly engaged, and that's okay, but we can invite the yin into the yang, right? One cannot exist without the other. So whether that means softening the gaze, scanning the body, relaxing the jaw. Maybe relaxing the shoulders and rolling the shoulders down the back here. And then observing with soft awareness, knowing that every posture is not going to be a cozy, comfortable posture in Yin. In fact, Yin is actually a very challenging practice, and that it asks you to be still in the face of discomfort. And what a beautiful training that is for life off the mat, right? Not everything is roses and rainbows all the time. So it does matter, right? How we move, how we respond. So here a wonderful tool is to use your breath into this left front thigh. So as you're starting to feel that tension, maybe a little stress on the tissue, start to really breathe into that space, and you can even visualize the breath expanding and gentle contraction as you exhale. So big inhale, bringing breath and movement and space into the left thigh without actually physically moving. And then as you exhale, breathing out, releasing stuck energy, moving it out through the left toes. Good. So we will not stay in these holds as long. We're going to move through the sequence. It's a 3-part sequence. So here we're in high flying. Next we're going to lower down to our low flying dragon. So here, start to bring your right hand to the inside of the right foot and wiggle your foot out just a tad. You might lower your blocks or release blocks altogether, and your forearm is going to be next to the shin. Okay, you're welcome to stay here, right? If you want to come deeper, you might move onto your forearms. And then here we might draw the chin down towards the chest. So in a more vinyasa or hatha practice, you might keep your gaze forward, right? But in Yin, we allow that softening of chin towards chest, creating that space in the back of the neck. Softening and releasing wherever we can. Beautiful. Let's give a couple more breaths here. So adjust as needed. If the body wants to come deeper, release blocks. If the body needs more support, use blocks, use props. Props are our friends. All right, you can stay here on the forearms. You can lift up. And we're going to take the right toe and spin it out to the right corner. So from here, you'll open onto the outer edge of your right foot. So your leg is coming out to the right like a wing dragon. So you'll see that right upper side of my foot is lifting. Good. If you are lifted here and not on the forearms, make sure you have a micro bend through the elbow so we're not locking that joint here. All right, observing soft awareness, kindness, finding your breath, finding your space where you can witness. Beautiful. Slowly begin to ground that right foot. We need to move extra slow and so tenderly here because the tissues are vulnerable. Start to wiggle that right foot in between the hands, and we shift the hips back ever so slowly. Make sure you breathe. And that right toe is coming towards the forehead as we come into our half split. And here, feel free to use blocks underneath the palms. So just a couple breaths here, finding length through the hamstring. And release, shift forward, bend the knee, and then come back to your child's pose. Big toes touch, knees nice and wide, shimmy the hips back. If you would prefer a downward facing dog, find that. All right, let's make our way to the other side. We come onto all fours. Grab blocks if you use them. And this time the left foot steps between the hands. Low lunge. Draw your right knee back here, so your right hip bone is drawing towards the earth. The right top of the foot is rooted. And then we move into high flying, either highest level of the blocks, prop up, or palms to the thighs, shoulders come over hips. The gaze will be slightly forward. All right, we settle in. Notice here how this posture is still a very earthbound posture. The gravity is drawing the hips towards earth, right? So we find that gentle resistance of the upward movement of the spine and the crown of the head. And then we feel that nice deep stretch here through the right front thigh. So it's wonderful and important to do poses like this, right? We're not often in a state where we're drawing our leg behind us, right? So we're walking forward or running forward or sitting in a chair with the legs forward. So stretching these muscles here is really important, right? They can get pretty tight and constricted if we don't. So notice what's arising here. Do we feel different on this side than we did on the other? Do we feel a little shake in the body? And that's normal. Just noticing your quality of breath, whether we're breathing into belly, ribs, and chest, whether we're visualizing the breath rising and falling, or breathing and expanding and soft contraction through that muscular tension and tissue in the right side. Good. Couple more breaths. We're almost there. High flying dragon. Good. We move to low flying. Walk the left hand between the foot, or the inside of the foot. Wiggle your left foot out just a tad. We have forearm next to shin. Either we're propped up here on blocks and you're still moving forward with the heart. You can come down onto forearms if you'd like. And here we can soften the chin towards the chest. If you need to adjust here, adjust your foot. You might actually walk it out a little bit and point it towards the corner without coming into the full wing dragon, right? So if you just need to adjust for the hip, do so. So just use your body's cues as we take these really deep and intense postures. Couple more breaths here. Good. Stay as you are, forearms rooted. You can also lift up or release your blocks. Start to walk your left toe to the left corner and just gently open onto the outer left edge of the foot. Wing dragon. Good. Nice deep breaths here. Notice if this left side is feeling a little tighter or more open through the outer hip. Stay with it here. We're almost there. Nice. Let's begin to release so slowly. Release your left foot. Ground it to the earth. Wiggle it between the hands. Take time here. Shift the hips back. Nice and slow. We're tender on that right side. Left toe is going to point towards forehead as we come into our half split. So fold forward from the hips. You might micro bend the knee here. Breathe through the back of the thigh. Good. Stay as long as you need to. When you're ready to come out, start to shift forward. Bend the knee, child's or downward facing. So downward facing could feel really good here if you want to move the hips, open the opposite side, or find stillness here. Relax the forehead. Take a passive child's pose, forearms rooted to the ground. All right, let's lift here nice and slow. Walk the hands back. Let's come onto our seats. And we'll just take a little bit of movement here before we come into our saddle pose. So just let the knees windshield wiper right to left. Okay, so this is where we're going to grab our bolster. Have it behind you. I will demo two options here. If you have knee sensitivity, you're going to take this first option if it's available. Otherwise, you can come on your back and hug your knees to the chest in a wind relieving pose and take that variation. So first option, we'll take a modified saddle, or as we know it, a thunderbolt. We'll use a block here, bring it between the heels, and we sit back on the block. So this is where you'll stay. You'll stay upright, and then you'll just feel that gentle stretching here through the ankle and through the quad, and then find the extension of the spine, maybe the chin towards chest. Option A. Okay. Option B, lots of options here actually. So we're going to come into saddle with the heel outside of the hip. So the inner thigh is rotating inward toward each other, heels to the outer edge of the hip. Now again, you can stay here if this is enough. Check in with ankles, check in with knee, and just make sure that this is appropriate, because this pose is not for everybody, okay? So really be honest with yourself so that we can stay safe. If you're interested in releasing backwards, we're going to come down. And so I like to kind of use something for my head. I don't want to come down with a complete flat back. So I'm going to start to move back. You can take it incrementally, right? You can start here. You can also use blocks for this one. You would prop your blocks up behind you. You can start to release. Okay, and then you will have a little bit of compression here in the low back and lumbar area. So just make sure that that is okay for your back. And if not, stay nice and tall. So here I feel pretty comfortable. I'm not all the way down. Some people can come all the way down, and you're welcome to do that. Just make sure that it's right for your low back. All right, so we're going to stay here, finding your saddle pose. Remember, it's going to look different for all of us, and it's going to be unique for our body today. So what we're looking for in this pose, whether we're upright or leaning back towards the earth, just notice that stretch through the front thigh once again. You'll notice that this gives a little stretch for the kneecap and the ankle here, so the top of the foot. If we are reclined here on a bolster or a pillow, you can advance this a little bit if you want more in the shoulders and chest. You can start to take the arms overhead. You might grab opposite elbow or interlace the hands and kind of let them fall behind you. Wherever we land, and it's the perfect place today, in this moment. So drawing the awareness inward, observing how we take shape. Can we find that quiet space here to just be with this shape, this body, this breath? Let's give another minute here. Gentle release of the arms if you have them overhead. We're going to slowly come out. If you are reclined here, start to use your palms or forearms and lift. Good. And then we're just going to lean onto one side. Actually, let's come forward. Let's come forward here. And lift and come into your table, and then all the way down onto your seats and extend the legs forward. Little taps. Little movements here, windshield wiper the feet. We'll take a forward fold. Some of us recline here, so we'll just move the spine in the opposite direction. Draw belly towards thigh, bend the knees, chin towards chest. Breathe through the back body. And on an inhalation, lengthen the spine. Good. Remove your props here. We're going to make our way onto our back. Shift the hips forward all the way to earth. Hug the knees. Give yourself a squeeze. Little rock here. Deep breath in. Exhale, draw your knees to the right. Reach out with your left arm for our spinal twist. So making sure knees are in line with the hips or the belly button, trying not to have the knees below the navel, just so we can really work through the mid-body here with the twist. If it feels comfortable, gaze might fall over the left arm. Gaze may be neutral here. Releasing and relaxing. We mentally begin to prepare for our rest and our practice of Yoga Nidra. So just slowly begin to let the eyes soften. The body start to feel deeper and closer to the earth than it already is. Good. Gently draw the knees back through the center. Hug the knees to the chest. Squeeze, deep breath in. Exhale, knees fall to the left. Reach out with the right arm, palm facing up, knees in line with belly button or higher. So shimmy the hips if you need to. Just make sure you're comfortable. And then feel your right shoulder blade drawing towards the earth. So even if it doesn't touch, feel that just gentle drawing down. If your arm is really lifted off the ground, you can always slide a prop underneath to bring the ground to you. So just relaxing here. Maybe the gaze falls to the right or not. Left hand can be resting on this top right thigh. You can also reach the arms out to a T. Whatever's comfortable as we settle down. Couple more breaths. Draw the knees through center slowly. And we'll take a happy baby here just to neutralize the spine, grabbing outer edges of the feet, ankles or shins, flexing the feet and drawing the knees towards earth, keeping the spine elongated. Just a few breaths here. And release. So let's prepare for our Yoga Nidra practice. You can find a traditional Shavasana. I'll also show you how to use some of these props if you have them. So maybe grabbing a bolster, you can take 2 blocks underneath the thighs or a pillow. And then a blanket here might be nice. Socks, sweater, eye cover, anything that you can just completely relax, right? If you need a pillow underneath the head, you can find that as well. So finding your space here so you can completely let go. making yourself as comfortable as possible. Let's begin to prepare for our practice of Yoga Nidra. As you make yourself comfortable, using any props that you need so that you can lay in a space of stillness and relaxation. Taking your time here to get settled, taking any movements or adjustments, and then slowly make your way into that gentle space, preparing for meditation. Perhaps we close the eyes. Notice if it's comfortable for the palms to be facing upwards. Slowly releasing any movements, feeling the body quiet. Now begin to take your awareness inside. Begin to investigate the physical body, noticing the joints and the muscles, relaxing the palms and the fingers, the ankles and the toes, the feet, calf muscles, knees, thighs, hamstring, back, shoulders, chest, arms, elbows, hands, head, and neck. Notice if there's any tension holding in the body, loosening it here with the breath, relaxing the breath. During the practice of Yoga Nidra, try to stay awake, listening to my voice. Allow the whole body to remain quiet, working with the subtle awareness. And now that the body is quiet and we find that place of stillness, begin to notice the subtle movements in the body. Notice the breath moving on its own without any effort. Notice the ebb and flow of the breath. The breath is happening on its own. Just staying aware here of the rise and fall of the belly with the natural breath. Notice the expansion and the gentle contraction. The breath is flowing in and out. As you notice the breath moving in and out through the nostrils, observe the inner movement, activating the energy channels within the body. Noticing the inspiration and expiration. The breath causing movement in parts of the body. Noticing the abdomen, stomach, heart, chest, throat, and nostrils. Noticing these subtle movements. Being the witness of the breath moving in and out, up from the navel to the throat, and down from the throat to the navel, witnessing, observing the breath. This is the time to set your resolve or sankalpa. A resolve can be something of the material, mental, or spiritual. An intention or resolution of sorts. As you state your resolve, state it to yourself 3 times with clear intention and emphasis. Now we will begin the rotation of consciousness throughout the physical body. One by one, consciousness moves to each and every part of the physical body. At the same time, you'll visualize each part and repeat its name mentally. There will be no physical movement, only the movement of the consciousness. Visualize that particular part which I will name and say. As you go along at the same speed as my voice, I will move from one part to another as you follow along with awareness. As we prepare, begin to visualize the relaxation of the right thumb, relaxing the second finger, third finger on the right hand, fourth finger, fifth finger. Begin to visualize all 5 fingers together, the palm of the hand, the back of the hand, the wrist, and the forearm. Visualize the relaxation of the right elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, right chest, the side, waist, hip, thigh, hamstring, knee, calf muscle, ankle, heel, sole, top of the foot, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe. Feel all 5 toes together, relaxing completely. And now we take consciousness to the left side of the body. Just as we were visualizing the parts of the right side, begin to visualize on the left. Start with the left hand, softening and relaxing the left thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, and fifth finger. Palm of the hand, back of the hand, the wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, left chest, side, waist, hip, thigh, hamstring, knee, calf muscle, ankle, heel, sole of the foot, top of the foot, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and fifth toe. Relaxing all 5 toes together. Feeling the left side of the body completely relax, releasing all tension now. Scan the body, feeling all parts of the body completely relaxed. Feel the crown of the head soften, the back of the head, the forehead, eyebrows, cheeks, nose, upper lip, lower lip, tongue, chin, neck, completely relax. Feel the entire body completely relax, releasing all tension now. Begin to notice the physical meeting points between the body and the floor. Feeling the body completely supported here. And now we will move to awareness of sensation. First, we will start with the sensation of heat. Begin to visualize the whole body lying on the floor, completely relaxed. Feel the body becoming hot. Try to experience the sensation of heat throughout the body. Recalling the feeling of heat in the summer or in the sun. Recreating a safe sensation of heat. Feeling the sensation exactly as you have experienced it in the past. Feeling a sensation of heat. And now, moving our awareness to the sensation of cold. As we reverse the feeling, try to feel the sensation of cold. Recall the icy wind, the snow, or the winter time. Recall a feeling of coldness through conscious effort. Remembering a time where you felt cold and recreating the sensation of cold. moving our awareness to the sensation of heaviness. Try to experience heaviness in the physical body. Feel the body in a safe space, becoming heavier and heavier, becoming so heavy. Moving to the sensation of lightness, a sensation of lightness throughout the whole body. Feel the body becoming lighter and lighter. The body is so light. Now gently draw the awareness to the space behind the closed eyes. Notice a sense of settling, of sensation throughout the body, coming back to that neutral state of being. Start to observe the ebb and flow of the natural breath, and begin to draw your awareness back to the resolve, the resolution that you set at the beginning of the class. Draw this resolution into your awareness and begin to state it to yourself 3 times. Now slowly allow the awareness to drift back to the physical body as we start to feel the temperature of the room, physical sensations, noticing the body connected to the earth. Beginning to invite the awareness as we start to move fingers and toes, ankles and wrists, slowly reawakening the physical body. Perhaps we roll the wrists and the ankles and extend the arms overhead, pointing the toes forward. Staying just as you are if you would like to rest. If you're ready for conclusion, draw the knees into the chest and rock onto one side. Gently press up through seated as we close our practice. Bringing the hands to the heart space, Anjali Mudra. Bowing the chin here in honor of yourself and your practice today. Honoring your intentions and the resolutions that you set. Drawing them deep within the heart space and allowing them to expand out into the universe. Thank you for joining me today. I wish you peace, love, and light on your journey. Namaste.